Alright, violent video games have become more popular in recent years. And in 2012 alone, at least 70 people died in mass shootings, along with numerous people who were injured in nearly every shooting, according to NewYorkDailyNews.com. Um, so, in relation to all of the shootings, many have begun to question the cause of those shootings and the cause of the increase in violent crime. And some have begun to look towards violent video games and the increases in violent video games as a cause of that. Um, Violent video games have many different varieties, but they all relate back to killing. Um, and while there are definitely other factors in shootings and killings, the violent video games of this generation do encourage violence and are at least a part of the cause of the increase of violence in this generation. So, can violent video games be a good thing? Some say that video games in general are actually good and can help children learn, as opposed to the belief that video games rot children's brains. Deborah Kotz, a writer for the Boston Globe and an experienced health reporter, believes that video games can boost children's capabilities and capacities to learn. According to the American Psychological Association, playing video games, including violent first-person shooting games, may boost children's learning, health, and social skills. So there are benefits to video games, but there are also downfalls, and in this case, some of the downfalls may outweigh the benefits. More research is going into the effect of the video games as people have started to question them, and it's been found that the video games normalize behaviors that are frowned upon in real life. So, in video games, it's okay to cuss, to steal, and even to murder. And it's actually, players get benefits for doing all of that. And in real life, that results in jail time, and it's not a good thing to do. But for video games, it's appreciated. And many of the video games that have come out here recently even give their players bonuses for going on killing sprees. So, definitely not encouraging good behaviors. Children have the potential to begin thinking that the behavior they learn in these games is what's expected in life as opposed to what is absolutely not allowed and is frowned upon. Some games like Saints Row and Call of Duty are more popular here recently, and Saints Row encourages gang behavior. According to commonsensemedia.org, players are involved in the killing of both innocent civilians and police officers. They also are involved in drug use and other illegal behavior. The Call of Duty Black Ops is a war-based military-themed video game, and players get bonuses for going on killing sprees and killing in general gain some points. The game has the ability to allow the players to connect with other players from around the world, as many video games do, which could be a benefit, but it could also be dangerous for young children who end up connecting with older people, and most of the language used when connecting is not appropriate. But some recent studies have shown that there is a connection between video games and aggressive behavior. Brad Bushman, a writer for CNN who is active in finding a connection between violent video games and violent crimes today, found that after playing a violent video game for 20 minutes a day, the players were increasingly aggressive after every day of playing a video game. And he also connected some of the shooters from recent shootings to video games and found that they were avid video game players, especially the first-person shooting games before they um, ended up going and killing numerous people. And even the American Psychological Association, who earlier announced the benefits of video games, says that um, violent video games increase aggression in children. So um, it's been found numerous times that video games are linked, especially violent video games, are linked to aggression, and it's only a small jump from there to them being linked to crime. Um, so those are some ratings for the some of the games. Call of Duty, um, that is B for everyone except for sexual content, blood and gore, and language. And then there's a mature rating, which is not found on many video games today. These are some studies done with the brain and shows how video games change the brain in relation to aggression. Um, Even the covers of the video games are gory in a lot of cases, so that says a lot about what the video game is going to entail. If even the cover can be gory. And then that is a Call of Duty cover with a warning on it. And the warning says that exposure to that game has been linked to aggressive behavior. So much like smoking, um, video games have had to come out and put labels on their covers in showing that it is connected with aggressive behavior. And then there's two young children playing video games. So there is a connection between video games and aggressive behavior. While there's not a definitive answer to the question of whether or not there's a link between violent video games and violent crime, it has been proven numerous times that video games can cause aggressive behavior, especially in children and teenagers, but also in adults who play them. There are benefits to video games, but those benefits, including learning and motor capabilities, are often found the same in video games that aren't violent and that don't encourage violent behavior. Um, if the video games do cause aggressive behavior and um, violent crimes, then even if they were benefiting children, it might not be worth it. The learning benefits don't outweigh the aggressive behavior. So there is a connection between violent video games and aggression, and I believe that there is a connection between violent video games and violent crime. Thank you.